The vast alien armada drifted beyond a blue star, like a wounded beast with ships arranged in careful lines, yet bleeding credits with every passing cycle, and none of the admirals could explain why, as ledgers glowed red across command halls and murmurs of panic grew while supply officers watched 7 million credits vanish each day. The fleet had been built to humble whole sectors, yet a quiet drain gnawed at it, and the alien crews who spoke in clicks and tones could only blame fate or faulty luck, while contracts with distant yards kept billing them for repairs that never seemed to end into. This storm stepped a human engineer named Eli, a slim figure in a plain suit, who carried a tool case and a habit of asking blunt questions. And though many aliens doubted the soft-skinned visitor, he walked the decks with calm eyes and a half-smile, because humans had learned long ago that every machine told a story if one listened. Eli reached the primary dock where Titanic cruisers docked like metal whales, and he asked to see the energy flow maps and the cost reports and the alien quartermaster. A tall being with smooth gray skin handed them over with a sigh that rattled the air. The number sang to Eli like a bad tune. He saw inefficiencies in loops where power traveled in circles before reaching its goal, and every loop meant heat, and every bit of heat meant more coolant, and more coolant, and more coolant meant more credits spilled into the void. He moved to a cruiser and slid into a maintenance hatch where humming conduits lined the walls, and there he found a design copied from an alien yard that assumed ideal vacuum conditions. Yet the fleet operated near nebulae, filled with charged dust, which forced the conduits to compensate by overworking, and that overwork triggered automatic micro-repairs that billed the fleet endlessly, called for a simple test, and had the conduits rerouted through a human-made stabilizer that cost almost nothing, and within moments the hum softened, and the heat fell, and the automated billing system fell silent like a liar caught in daylight. Word spread across the docks as technicians watched meters shift from red to green, and the fleet accountants stared in shock as the credit drain slowed to a trickle, and then stopped. An alien admiral with eyes like polished stone approached. Alien asked how he had seen what none of their experts had seen, and Leanne answered that humans built things in messy places and learned to expect dust and chaos and mistakes, so they always looked for where a system was fighting itself. But Eli did not stop there, because he knew one fix was never enough, and he moved from ship to ship, applying the same logic, and each time the savings grew and the fleet began to feel lighter, as if a burden had been lifted from its holes. By midday, the once bleeding armada had stabilized, and the 7 million credits that once vanished each day now remained safe, and the alien leaders gathered in a grand chamber to honor the quiet human who had done in hours what their own had failed to do in cycles. Eli stood before them with hands clasped and said that the real power of humanity was not strength or weapons, but the stubborn will to question every assumption and to find simple answers hidden beneath complex fears. The admirals agreed and offered alliances and trade, yet Eli only asked for a modest fee and permission to share his methods with their crews so they could stand on their own, and this humility won more respect than any boastas. The fleet prepared to move once more. It did so with renewed confidence, and the story of the human engineer they spread through alien channels as a tale of clever minds and quiet courage in distant systems. Other species heard how a single human had saved an empire of ships from financial ruin before lunch, and they began to wonder what other miracles humans might bring when given a chance. Eli returned to his small quarters and ate a simple meal, content in the knowledge that a problem had been solved, not by force, but by understanding, and in the vast cold of space that was the true mark of humanity. Alien fleet sailed onward, no longer haunted by invisible losses, and every glowing engine carried a bit of human insight within its flow, a reminder that even among the stars, a careful eye and a curious mind could change the fate of worlds.